Welcome once again to Blank Pages, another episode and another day. As always, you have me, Khalib, your host. You have our co-host to our right, the lovely Tony Ann. And then you have our amazing AV tech guy, Raymundo. His name is really Ray, but I call him Raymundo. Y'all have to call him Raydo. Y'all not his friends like that. Besides that, yeah, that's how we do it. How's your day been today? Or basically our week?
Overall,
Yeah.
good, exhausting, but good.
Why exhausting?
It was just a lot. Work was just a lot. I wake up, work out, then I start work, and it was just meetings after meetings, getting things done, interacting with different departments, and I was tired. I'm tired.
Oh boy, I am drained today.
Dead.
Well, that's good. I mean, not good, but it's good that you're busy. What about you, Ray? How's your week?
My week was I'm on the same page as Tony.
Dang, yeah, both y'all just
Yeah.
busy? I mean, it's good to have a busy lifestyle, but do y'all take breaks at all?
You know, between work, family, and then music. What else? More family.
Mhm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Church.
Yeah,
Yeah.
back and forth.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
A lot, but made us through.
Yeah. Thankfully.
Thankfully.
Thank you,
Well, I
Lord.
kind of feel like, my week should upgrade to y'all week, but it was pretty nice, It was nice, but unfortunately, a few things did happen to cancel. I was supposed to judge the talent show, and unfortunately, that got canceled. But it did open up my Friday night,
It
so I
did.
was able to get some more time editing and whatnot. So it made this weekend a little bit more manageable. And then I already told y'all this morning, they rescheduled the whole entire rehearsal,
Yeah.
bruh. The whole entire my free time might
Gone.
just be opened up. It might be gone, but right now it's just like
Mhm.
I'm learning right now in life. What time you made for yourself, honor that.
Yeah. Yeah.
No
'Cause
matter what happens.
had we not planned to do this today and they shifted it, we would have missed out on a day.
Yeah. And yeah, that that sacrifice and that dedication.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Cause I was just like, you moved it to this morning. We're supposed to be recording this morning. And this is an opportunity that I really wanted to do. Do I do the talent show or do I record? And guess what I picked today? Record. So yeah, it was dope. It's dope. But we here for Vibe Check episode 2. And I know for Vibe Check episode 1, y'all was definitely just hearing me run my mouth. So Vibe Check episode 2, y'all gonna hear other people run their mouths because I'm not about to say that much today. So I want to start off on the Vibe Check with a very important question, because this is a question that I've always asked myself about you two individuals.
About me?
Yeah, pertaining to this podcast, of course.
Okay.
What do you guys see from, or not even what? Pause. How does blank pages affect your life? Because I know how it affects mine. Because I understand the things that I do say, I also have to come back and, do them myself. It always keeps me in check.
Mm-hmm.
But from people that I invited on board that didn't originally have the same dedication, but that's now growing in the dedication, like, how does blank pages affect y'all lives? And it's because Tony Ann decided to call out Ray the first episode. Tony Ann is first.
Well, little did you know I planned to answer first anyways.
Oh.
So hold your horses right there, sir. So I think it's definitely, I guess, not forcing, but causing me to shift things around and reassess other things in, I guess, my life that may not be as important. Things that I used to think that I can't push around, but actually now that I have to, I'm like, yeah, it can go. I don't have to really put in that much time on that one thing. And it's on a more personal level, it's causing me to, I guess, look at the formulas that I'm utilizing in my day to day. Like, okay, how am I handling this? How am I applying this to my life? Because I can't just be on here talking or sharing and not actually intentionally thinking about these things. So, yeah, it's making me reassess life on a personal level and life just in general. Moving things around, taking more time for myself, all
Awesome,
that good
awesome.
stuff.
By the way, if you're looking and you're trying to figure out, is Tony in cold? Tony in is forever cold. Tony is
It's
forever.
cold here.
It's not.
It is cold
It's
here.
not.
My nail beds are turning blue.
It's not.
It's cold here.
Ray can
His nail
honestly
beds are
say
turning blue.
exactly. Over exaggerating, bro. You getting frostbite?
Yes.
No, you not.
Yes, I am.
All right,
My
but
toes are tingling. It's fine. Ray, you can agree with that one.
All right, fine. Yeah.
if you trying to figure out why can Ray agree, Ray literally asked, "Can I wear sneakers in the house because my toes is cold?"
Exactly.
I don't like cold
And
feet.
he don't like. Yeah, he don't.
It's cold, y'all.
All right, Ray. How does blank pages affect your life, or how's it affecting your life?
Wow. Blank pages for me. Um, I think have some like the senior one here in a way.
Yeah, in a way, in a way.
Right. So I'm able to, I think, bring things that can work or just share my life experiences. And it's but again what Tony has said, be mindful of what I'm doing or what I'm saying in the podcast so that this way um basically we don't have the answers, all the answers, right? And we're just coming here and provoking conversation and um maybe through our conversations we find that diamond that can
Yeah.
help someone. So I'm throughout the week I'm more so if I hear a gem or hear something that gets my thoughts going, I write it down, said, let me think about that perhaps and discuss it one day on the podcast. So being very being open to hear other people's stories,
In aware.
right, and where they are and how they get through it, as well. So
Okay.
that's how it's impact me. And plus this fitting it in with all the other stuff that I have
Yeah.
going on during the week.
Okay. So I remember in episode 1 how I was saying how when I was asking you guys for help, how it was hard for me to ask you guys for help. Individually. What do you recall from that phone call that stood out to you the most? The phone call where I both asked you guys if y'all could be a part of Blank Pages. Because both phone calls were very emotional. Because, like I said, a brother cried on the phone. So, how was that for both of y'all?
I was a bit concerned because for me, it wasn't a phone call for me. It was a voice note.
Yeah, I forgot that one. Yeah, I
It was
cried
a
on voice
voice.
notes too.
So it was a voice note for
I
me.
mean, technically, it's the same thing. You hear my voice, you respond. You're technically having a phone call.
I was like, what happened? Like, what is going on, bro? But the fact that, well, personally, knowing that you have a hard time asking for help, because this is something that I've known. So when you actually asked me, it felt good. I was like, dang, he wants to rely on me, and it meant a lot. So it felt very, very good to know that you would rely on me to be a part of this because we had been talking about this. I knew just how much you were putting into it, the effort, the time that you've been putting into looking things up, getting the equipment, the whole structure of it. We have been talking about blank pages.
Yeah, facts. I was coming to you like you was the assistant of blank pages before I even asked you, can you assist me with blank pages?
Yeah. So when you actually extended, your hand for help, I was like, all right, I felt honored.
Okay. Oh, I'm glad I gave you a sense of honor, but I mean, of course, I'm honored that you felt honored because I can honestly say, sending you those voice notes, it was like, who am I to be asking this girl for help? What if she'd be like, I want to help you with your little podcast? Like, nah. But yeah, I'm paranoid. What about you, Ray? Because just to give some type of context, when I first started to do blank pages, I first called up Ray because we were doing reels first. And when I started to try to take blank pages to the next level, like podcasting, I realized that it was missing a co-host where I can talk to when I don't have got nobody to talk to, because I'm definitely we definitely not about to have a, how you doing? No, I'm not about to do that. I'm not about to have a single podcast talking in the camera by myself.
A split screen.
Yeah. One going to have schizophrenia, like Khalib A and Khalib B. No. So when I was like, who can I have a co-host? Then I sent the voice notes to Tony Ann. So I just want to make sure the timeline is, there.
And just to clarify the timeline, just a little bit, even before then, that's when those conversations were happening.
Yeah. Blank Page has been in the works for
a minute.
Since last November. And I mean, like, from
Actually,
thoughts.
last January.
Facts. Because I had the idea in January.
Yes, I remember that phone call. I was at work in the office.
Go ahead.
And I think it was in the morning, and I had the free time. So I hadn't gotten the promotion yet. Yeah, and we talked for about 3 hours about everything, topics, what you thought it should be, had the vibe that you wanted for it. So this is since like last January.
Yeah, Tony is going to be our fact checker for this whole entire thing, because I've been remembering little bits and pieces, and she like, no, let me just let you know this is the exact one. Okay. Ray, how was that phone call for you? Because I did call you.
All right. Before the phone call.
Okay. How about we fact check me? All right. Everybody fact check me. What was the first time? Because maybe I'm bugging.
I remember you saying you want to start a podcast. I was like, cool. And I was like, all right, you trying to do audio visual? He's like, nah, just audio. I was like, nah, bro. Nah.
He was on that vibe.
Yeah, he was on that vibe.
Yeah, that like, just audio.
No, we're going to do visual and audio.
Yep.
And then some months later, you were going through the names, what type of names to choose, or that you wanted to choose. So you gave me some ideas, and it ended up that blank pages was it. I was like, all right, this is cool. But when you asked me, or when you told me about it, about your whole idea, for me, I'm not the type. Initially, yeah, I used to be the type of person where I don't share like my plans with folks. They always say, "Hey, be careful who you share it with."
True.
And then then church folks like to compare it to like, what was it, Jacob and Joseph and the colt?
Oh yeah.
And I'm just like, he told his brothers, and it still happened anyway. So
Facts.
it gonna happen.
I got you.
But yeah, when you told me that, I was like, all right, man. I took it as, all right, you really trust me to tell me that information as well. And I remember saying, hey, you help me. You know what I'm saying?
And I think when you first asked me for help, I was like, nah, man, I'm good. Like, I got it. And then I called him up and was just like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna need your help. What's funny is to hear the story of when I think that I first brought up blank pages to y'all, and then to hear the origin story. Like, nah, Cleve, you talked to me about this before, and I think it's like subconsciously or somewhere in my mind, I was like, let me make sure that the people that I am close to find this idea somewhat great than I do. And in a way, it was technically, I don't even think it was me asking, but I think just me bringing it up to you, somewhere in me was thinking that you was going to ask, like, can I, oh, let me join on. But even when you did, Ray, I was like, nah, which means I have a real problem with help. But yeah. Oh. So after me asking y'all and y'all becoming involved, I'm gonna have to start with Ray, because Ray was actively involved due to him being the AV guy. What was the first night, like the first Thursday that you came over and I was like, yo, let's do these reels? Like, what was that for you?
I was expecting to do a lot more work, right? So when I came in, we set up. I was like, all right, he got a little, thing going on where he knows what he's looking for. That made me say, okay, he's putting in the work too, you know? I was like, all right, cool. Um, you did your research, you had your camera, you had your stands, you had the mics. I'm like, damn, this guy really going all in. He plug it in. His mic is attached to his. He had the whole nine. It's a pretty good startup actually. Um, but where I saw that I can help is trying to make it more of a conversation when you're speaking into the camera, right? And asking, you may have had an idea, or you had an idea, but to see how we can expand that idea. Maybe it was a topic on how to overcome failure, or um, uh, leveling up, or just those topics, and asking questions. And they didn't make it to the cut up, right? But it helped spark that creativity and um, get to a point, or get to a point where the conversations that we're having folks can relate to. Yeah.
I think little did you know, because it's funny how you said that when you came in, you expected to do a lot more work. I thought you was doing way too much work. But it's funny how you can ask somebody for help, have what I think like I'll call like a job description in your head of what you think they're gonna do, and they do that and then get way more. Like when you first came on, like that first night, I didn't even know what to expect from you. I honestly was just like, yo, you set up, oh, wow. It was basically like, yo, you set up the camera. And basically from you setting up the camera, you just got to make sure I'm in the middle. Like I don't have anyone back there to make sure the visuals was good. We didn't have an audio issue. Ray did the visuals. He did the lighting. He started asking random questions. Now, Ray don't talk much. He's a man of very few words. But when he gonna say something, those few words gonna turn into a nice, well essay. And if you guys ever look on the reels and see like me just looking off to the side and talking to somebody, or look like I'm talking to somebody, it's Ray. And from those moments, it produced a lot more where I'm able to say more, where I'm able to be a lot more comfortable in the camera. To be honest, those reels made me a lot more comfortable in this camera, because now I know how to, maneuver through it. I know how to look at other people, then gaze my eyes on it if I need to. But it just made me a lot more comfortable. So whatever work you thought that you was doing little, it was a lot more than what you thought you was doing, even what I thought you was doing. Because after you done the reels and I did the post production, I was like, yo, he played a major role in tonight. Yeah, that's what I just want to let you know. They haven't heard most of these things. They have heard the admirations of me always saying thank you guys for your dedication, but I want you guys to know why I'm thanking you for your dedication. And this is what this episode is going to reveal.
Ooh, me next.
Okay, back to you, Ray, again. All right, Tony Ann. All right, so Tony, your first time on this podcast was episode 1, but honestly, I feel like we be having podcasts on a normal day basis via phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
So, for our phone calls, because we be having great conversations on the phone, what do you take away from them?
It's never just one thing. Um, it's always something that I would have to think about, challenge myself on, or in some way apply. It's always one of those three things. Um, let's see. I think which from our many conversations, ah, there was one we had about just starting or just getting things done.
Yeah, I called you up and I was telling you how I wanted to get things done, but it never seemed like the stars aligned.
Exactly.
And how I'm learning at this moment that the stars will never
It's
align,
never
that you
gonna
just got to
align. You
get
just
it
gotta
done.
do it.
Yeah.
You just gotta get started. And from that conversation afterwards, I had to really sit down and really look at all the different things that I had going on and all the different things that I wanted to get started on. And I think this was around the time before I started writing the book.
Mm.
And I think after that conversation, I sat down and I started writing the book. I think I got to 60 chapters,
Woo.
but then I got the promotion at work and that had to be put on the back burner. But before the conversation, I didn't know if I could really do it. And I was like, oh, but I don't really have the time. I don't really have what I need. Can I really keep up with all these chapters? And I remember you even asking me once if I think I could handle the I guess workload or expectation of having to produce these chapters in a timely manner. And I was like, I don't know, but I'm gonna do it. We just gonna see. We're just gonna have to get it done. And after that initial conversation, every week I'd get 1,000 words in or more. And I got to 60 chapters. So over 60,000 words got done from just starting.
See, by the way, if you didn't know, that's a little formula real quick. You don't have to get everything done in one day. Take your time. Yeah, it's like I feel like it's like a slow cook.
Mm-hmm.
Um uh dang, I don't know why J. Cole verses popping in my head. But there's a song where he says that he sees, you blowing up fast, but it's better to slowly erupt. And when he says that, I think of like, how people be putting the time in and time in and day out for years, but they don't see that end result within that year or within the 2 years. But when they hit that 5th year or that 3rd year or that 4th year,
That's when it starts.
it's like it seems like all the blessings or basically everything just start coming to them, and it's because they have been slowly cooking instead of just a fast startup, and then you just come crashing down. So like when you just say like when I was talking to you about just starting, it was technically just starting this, but people don't understand like you just starting don't really mean that you're doing it. It means that you're intentionally putting time into the thing that you want to start and do. This ain't started in one day. Like I had to get everything little by little by little by little by little. And we still not even at the point where we want. But we had a part where we can start with some good quality. You know what I'm saying? You know what conversation that we have had that always rings in my ear? And
Ah! Wow. Okay.
that conversation. To give
That's
some
a more recent one.
Yeah, to give and when we mean by more recent, we mean like within this year. Um, to give visual to the story, I called up Tony in and I was like basically like I don't know what the heck I was going through, but I was basically like giving her the woos and the wahs of life.
A rough morning.
Yeah, and I was just like, Tony in, I don't feel like doing it, I feel upset. Whatever I was feeling, the girl summed up everything and said, and I was just like, oh, I called you for some comfort. Like, I called you to be like, yeah, Khalid, I feel you, bro. Amp me up or, join into the sob story. Nah, she said, and I remember asking her, like, what do you mean by and? She was like, and so what? You feel this way, and I remember you saying, my and is asking you, and what are you going to do? And from that point, that conversation, as much as I was just like, Tony and talking to me a little crazy, to be honest, it was needed, because that and conversation, the next time I had something in, something in that was like, negative or sad, and I heard that in my head. And then the next time something, I was like, and it got to the point where, the other day when I got that big ticket on my car, and I was just like, and that means that we have to now deal with this. And I realized when life comes at you, you got to have like a spirit of like, and like, damn, but and like, what you gonna do about it? It's fine to be in your emotions. It's fine to, be a sad, like,
how you gonna get up?
How the heck and what you gonna do?
Kind of buckle up and figure it out.
Exactly.
So from that conversation, yeah, that and conversation really hit. Yeah. Okay. So now, after dealing with the first experiences, because one had experience with blank pages and the other one had experience in just conversations that will be had on blank pages, what do you envision yourself in blank pages? Like, how do you vision yourself in blank pages? And to give some reference to the question, when I think about blank pages, for me, it's one of those things where if I go through something, I'm already thinking about, how can I resolve this? What is something that I've heard in my past, or what is something that I've been through that is not the same but aligns up with it, that I can take the good and the positive and add to this? And when I get to blank pages, it's like remember when I wanted to do reels about sacrifice? And by the way, my first laptop copped out. Like I said, bro, we can't do this no more. And I had to make at that time a sacrifice of, how much am I going to put in this podcast? Am I going to get some tinky $300 computer?
Tinky.
Yeah, I'm half Jamaican, bro. So you're going to hear a lot of you're going to hear a lot of lingos. They understand it because they're first generations as well.
Yeah.
But am I going to get some tinky computer, or am I going to get something that's going to be real quality, but that's going to be a hefty price for me? And at that time, I thought about sacrifice. And I was just like, yeah, if you are willing to go to the next level, you understand that it takes some sacrifice. And as soon as I made that sacrifice, what's the first thing I said to you? We need to make reels on sacrifice. Because as soon as I was like, yo, this is what, this got to be what people go through. You're finally doing something that you really love to do. Mm-hmm. And out of nowhere, something goes wrong.
Yeah.
And now you have to spend or do something that requires a lot of you to make sure that whatever you are dreaming, whatever you have a baby in, or whatever you're doing is going to be great, but it's going to take a sacrifice. Yeah. And since I was able to make that sacrifice and then understand what it means to make that sacrifice, then understand what goodness comes out of it. Because it wasn't as though we bought the computer and I was just like, great, I resented it. No, I love it. We're able to go do a whole lot. Production is a little bit more easier. And it's like, if I didn't make that sacrifice and decided to get some tinky computer, peke, talawa, you know what I'm saying? It would have been horrible. We'd have been here still trying to render the first videos. Exactly.
True. Because the first computer he sent me, I was like, this can't handle it.
That joint was like a good 300. I was like, yeah,
it may have had the gigs, but the video card was like
Facts. And I think we spent about like 2 weeks
going back and
looking up
forth.
computers, trying to find computers. So I know for a fact that the way how blank pages impacts my life is that I have to, and I'm not trying to be perfect. I just got to be the best me.
Yeah.
Because if I could be the best me, I know that I can encourage somebody to be the best them. Don't be me. No. Be you.
You can't be me.
Facts. And all cockiness and prideness, you can't be me. But at the same time, don't be me. Yeah, I love me. I love me some me. But I'm not conceited to the point where I'm like, it's all about me. That's the part where like blank pages impacts my life. Whereas it's like, Khalib, it's not all about you, bro. That same way how you made that sacrifice to buy this computer is the same way how somebody in this whole entire world, and there's 7 billion people in this world, somebody's going to do it.
Some have to make bigger sacrifices.
Facts.
To start further behind than you've started. So sacrifice.
Calculated sacrifice.
Calculated
Or
sacrifice.
you did the work. You said, all right.
Yeah.
This is what we need.
Yeah.
All right.
And I think before that, we made a reel about being realistic.
Yeah.
And having your goals. And realistically, we needed that computer.
Yeah.
So my next question is, how would you explain blank pages to someone who never heard of it without using any of the vocabulary descriptions that we have used in the past? If someone was to be like, hey, I heard about this podcast, Blank Pages. What is it about? Because a lot of people be asking me what Blank Pages is about. And I'm like, it's motivation? Like, I don't know what to tell you. It's a podcast about positivity. Or it's a podcast that's not telling you that you suck. Like, so
bottom line, yeah.
So how would you explain this podcast to somebody? Because I know what I say. It's not those things. I normally tell people Blank Pages is, but I'm not going to tell y'all. I want to hear y'all stuff. So yeah.
So if someone were to come to me and say, hey, I heard about Blank Pages. What is it about? Say, life be lifing. And if you want a spot where there's positivity and or just you want to hear about how a conversation how folks get over certain things in life, or go to Blank Pages, and that's without using any of the words to describe Blank Pages that we had used in the past. I don't think I've said life be life, and so
yeah, you have not said that, so that's good.
Yeah,
I think when I explained to my cousin, the one that was braiding my hair, because she was like, what was that call about? I was like, when I explained to my cousin what it is, or the best way for me to explain it to her was that it's conversations about how to get through life.
That is true. That is his foundation. We do be having conversations about getting through life. And on the topic of getting through life, what would that mean for someone who doesn't see or who doesn't feel as though they're getting through life? Because we use that phrase like, you have to get through life. You have to get through life, but everyone's life is different. So how would you explain that to somebody who's currently still in the mud, who's trying to get through life, and who's feeling like they're not getting anywhere in life? Because it's a conversation about getting through life, but I'm stuck at where I am. What does getting through life mean or look like to y'all?
But I think for that particular question, for me, I think that getting through life will have to be how they perceive it, or how they perceive it, using the, I guess, advice or solutions that we might suggest. getting through life does look different for everyone, right? But it's not necessarily the getting through, it's the
Actions,
the actions or the skills or the
things that you're doing,
the
basically.
mindsets you take on to get through life. And that's what we share, the different mindsets you have to take on and the different skills you may need to implement or employ. You look like you have a question.
Nah, it's not a question. It's what you said that kind of like brought a dink.
Okay.
And I want to shed a light to it.
Mm-hmm.
You said the mindset,
Mm-hmm.
and I think a lot of people don't understand that before you even commit an action, you have to have the right mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying we as a human race,
Mm-hmm.
we like to just do the action part.
Yeah.
But we never calculate the sacrifice. We never calculate all these things. So by the time we are ready with the action and everything that's coming at us that we have to now do to uphold what we just started, we don't have that mindset to be like, I have to push through.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the willingness to do the action, but we don't
The
have
thought is nice, but following through is where it's at.
Exactly. So when you said giving you the right mindset, like we're not telling you exactly what to do. We're not telling you you should turn left and turn right and then go up. We're basically saying like, yo, life be lifing. And one way to get through life is having a right mindset.
Going right back around to the and conversation, your mindset had to change for that day.
Facts.
So, and it definitely stuck with you whenever you came across any other stumbling block. You're like, and so you're not in that mode where you want to sit down and cry about it or be mad about it. You're in a mode now where you can analyze and say, okay, this is rough.
Mhm.
This is turbulence. How am I going to navigate this? How am I going to get through this? What's next?
Yes.
Essentially.
Like, what's next for me to do? Like,
yeah.
How am I not about to stay here? Because it's easy to stay in the muddleness. It's easy to stay within the woe is me. Trust me, it is. Because when life be life and smack you across the face, you got nothing else to punch but a wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
So without you having any, and I'm only talking about people who are currently trying to get to that next level.
Yeah.
Because if you're comfortable where you at, stay comfortable. I'm not.
Yeah.
This is not really necessarily for you.
It doesn't apply.
It doesn't really apply, but it applies to people who are like, yeah, I'm trying to start this in life. I'm trying to do this in life. I'm trying to be at this point in life. Even if it comes down to even working out, this podcast is great for you too. You gotta have the right mindset for that.
Yeah.
So it's to the point where when you are correcting one thing and it follows up through the whole entire life,
yes,
that one and conversation stuck with me for the whole entire life.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say I heard this and conversation just one time from this one phone call has prolonged over a year now.
Yep.
And I'm just like, and for whatever trouble comes my way, and off of that one convo. That's pretty nice. Thank you, Tony Ann, for that convo. You know, a lot of people don't understand that when you do have a great person in your life, it's great to use them, but not use and abuse them.
Yeah.
You see, that's where it gets wrong when you start to use and abuse. So thank you for that in conversation.
You're welcome.
Granted, I wanted to.
I know rough conversations be rough, and I have a habit of sometimes being rough.
But
so it's all in good nature.
Yeah.
It's all out of love.
But it's necessary for you to have those rough conversations.
Yeah.
I mean, I always say, or I tend to say a lot, the price for the truth is your feelings. Because the truth don't care about your feelings. It don't care how you will feel about it. What it cares about is giving you the raw, cut facts. And the facts at this moment, Khalid, was that you crying a little bit too much. And I appreciate you for that roughness. All right, back to these vibe checks. Now, it's great. By the way, I didn't even know you told your cousin about this. This is nice. Thank you for promotion. Okay, so my next question, and I'm glad that you guys do see my dedication in this. And it's kind of personal, but why are you guys so dedicated? Like, besides being friends with me and like, yo, I want the best for you, Khalid, because I know both you guys share that.
Mhm.
But why y'all so dedicated?
I'll let Ray answer first this time.
Yeah, like why y'all so dedicated?
Wow. And I can't use.
Nah, you can't use, yeah, bro, you my bro. I want to see the bet. Nah, you can't use that. Cause don't get me wrong, I appreciate that. I know that's the foundation and the root. But I always ask myself, like, at any moment, y'all could be like, all right, Khalid, I don't want to do this no more. Or all right, Khalid, this is a little too much for me. And to be honest, my next response is going to be, all right, I feel you. I, but why y'all so dedicated? Because y'all could have definitely said no for today. I just want to let y'all know that today was on God's grace. So yeah, Ray, because Tony ain't put it on you. The next episode, you could do the same thing to.
um, why am I so dedicated? I think it could be contagious, right?
Elaborate.
And I, for me, um, where I saw your dedication, right? And I love technology. I love how things can come together and work.
Work.
First time, I love learning too, right?
Oh.
So reading and putting stuff and trying to piece all the equipment together.
Mm-hmm.
That's also like something that I love to do as well, right? Um, but more importantly is the message that we're sending for from blank pages, right? So as I
Okay.
said before, initially it's just like it's it's a space that needs more intention, you know? So that's why I'm dedicated. It's the message that we're putting out there.
Belly, stop.
Tony Ann and
So,
the belly.
so for me, it's a little bit more layered.
Okay.
Um,
Well, give me all the layers of
all
the
the
onions. Yeah.
layers. Um, One, at least the main layer or the core of it is, I think it's just how God made me. I'm just one, I'm very dedicated no matter what I do. I tend to get in trouble because of that, because sometimes I have a hard time, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I guess delegating or navigating that dedication in the right places. However, um, this matters is one of the main points to me as to why I'm dedicated to it. Because in essence, we do this all the time.
True.
We do it all the time. Now it's more public.
Yeah, which is kind of harder because we don't like y'all in our private conversations.
We're
But
very private people.
yeah.
So that's another thing. So one, I'm naturally dedicated. Two, it matters. The message matters, just like what Ray was saying. It's important. Three, it challenges me also. I'll be very honest, very transparent. I had such a moment last night. I woke up and did not remember partially that today was happening. When I said eyes swollen, head hurting, but
Mm.
when I saw that text message, I had that and moment. And I got myself up and I got myself ready because it matters. It's like the combination of those three things is what keeps me going, what keeps me dedicated, naturally dedicated, it matters, and what's the third thing I said? No, I don't remember.
You said naturally dedicated, it matters, and somewhat about like it keeps you going, like
challenges.
there you
It
go.
challenges me. So yeah, those three things, those three components.
Well, besides the component of me spending money on this and time and effort, I think the part where it matters hits me a lot harder. I think we spend a lot of time on things that really don't matter. Like the fact that I know that there's so many diss tracks that's going to Drake right now.
Oh wow.
The man don't even pay my bills. Why does it matter so much? But yet someone just struggling in depression, but someone struggling in their business, or someone that's struggling period, really don't matter. Nah, they matter to me way more than Drake getting dissed.
Yeah.
No offense to Drake, you know.
No offense.
But he's at that level where he can get dissed.
Yeah.
And he has that money where he can definitely go on a vacation and not hear about it.
Exactly. He don't care.
Exactly. But someone who's like going through something, like, it amazes me how, especially like celebrities, when you hear celebrities committing suicide, celebrities doing this, celebrities doing that, but the suicide rate among celebrities is just like, what we thought the happiness was, the riches, the fame, everyone knows your name. No, it's not it. They struggling, but they're at that point in life where they got no one that can uplift them. No one think it matters. So when I'm thinking about blank pages, at the end of the day, I'm like, it does matter.
Yeah.
You don't know how crazy it is for me to receive like 2 text messages like, yo, what you said yesterday was like, it hit my soul. I'm like, thank you. Like, I don't expect it.
Yeah.
But I expect someone to take something away from it. Even if I don't say anything, even if I don't see the likes, even if I don't see the views. If 2 people could take away it.
Listen, if one person is impacted by something you say or do, it matters. It's done its job.
Facts. And what would you recommend for our listeners? Because every episode, granted, it could have a topic. Because, by the way, this is the end of our vibe check. Vibe check was just for you to get a feel of who we are. I don't feel like you guys should just be listening to random people and don't get a clue of who they is. Like, why am I listening to you? Like, why should I go to you and listen? What does this podcast mean to you? I feel like we have a whole lot of people who are just ready to be like, do what I say. Why? But I want to end it off with like, what is something that you can give to our viewers? What is a page out of your book that you can rip out and hand to somebody where they can read and be like, I can add this into my book? I have a lot of sayings, and I said a lot today. I know, I mean, like I said like a lot of my sayings today, you know, like
I'd say for me, it's not about what you feel, but about what you're willing to do to change it. Elaborate. You can be feeling anything. You can be feeling upset, frustrated, whatever. You feel like life is not going your way. What are you willing to do to change it? And once you figure that out, or once you make a decision on that, you can move forward. It gets a little bit easier.
Awesome.
Becomes more attainable.
Nice.
Wait, what's yours?
What's yours?
What's yours?
I just told you I ripped out a page. But if I was to give someone a page out of this, just start. Because I remember we were talking about me starting and how I just needed to start. And that was one of our predominant conversations. Just start. I feel as though we wait until we either have enough money, or we wait until we can get this or we can get that, or we just waiting for this. We just waiting for this to come through. Don't wait for it to come through. Just start. Just start.
And to that note, it's not even just about starting something, but even about doing something or buying something. Waiting until you think you have enough, or what you think is enough. For example, my AirPods, they died on me. Well, they didn't die. They went away. They took a trip.
They went to Mexico?
They went somewhere. Somewhere in the house. first I couldn't find one, and I only had the case and the remaining one, which was the left. Um, and I was rocking with that for a good 2 weeks, you know? I was like, I'm not trying to buy a new AirPods. These are dying on me. They only last 2 hours, but I'm trying to wait it out until I save up enough money. Mm-mm. I lost the one with the case, the left one, and then I found the right one underneath the top mattress of my bed. Now, I don't know where the case and the left one is, and that right one is dead, so I can't use it. Yeah, so I decided to get string earphones, and after like 2 weeks of that, I was like, I can't do this.
You're just get an AirPod.
And I did. I finally did. Now I have
You see
the
why you should
AirPods
stop waiting
Pro
on
2
things?
and just do it.
Not to use your story as a little, hiccup and giddy and laughing.
But it is.
But it is. But
Yeah.
to be honest, to make it a little bit more real, we do that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We start to try to find other routes around what we actually need and want. And we tend to get a whole lot of crap.
Yeah.
And then wonder why this crap not working.
Exactly.
It's not what you originally needed.
Exactly.
What you originally needed was an AirPod. What you chose to get was everything but that. And your life is just like, bro, what is this string ear? What is this string?
Life is just like,
Not
get it together.
But yeah, just start. Trust me. When you're able to just start, I know what it looks like. I know that it is don't look like what it's supposed to look like. It's not supposed to. Just start it. If you start, I promise you, you're going to figure it out along the way. And I understand, if you're not a person of faith, I'm sorry. I am a person of faith.
Me too.
God is going to provide as long as you are willing to provide that faith and that start.
You have to give something for him to bless.
Yeah, because a part of faith is, I think we just do the wishful thinking of faith. Where we just like, yo,
put in that work.
We want to be great. I'm going to sit on this couch.
But what are you
going to do?
Where's your part?
Faith without works is dead. And if you're not working towards your faith, it's going to be dead like a dog. So just start.
Dead dog.
Just start. Whether you're starting trying to buy something, just start. That's my page.
That's your page.
What about you, Ray? I know we said like we ripped out like 5 pages, right? But what's your page, bro?
That I'll leave with the people.
Yeah.
I think I used it earlier this week, actually. One of my friends who I haven't seen in a while, was like, "Hey, how you doing?" As I said earlier, it was a rough week. Could have sat there and complained, but it's a new day, you know. I'm able to make a change and continue to fight for change. And you may get tired, right? And that's okay. You know, sometimes you gotta step back a little bit and see what's going on, reassess, and then get back on there and, you know, conquer the day.
Yeah. Well, that's the end of our vibe check. We will be doing a vibe check, but not anytime soon. Vibe checks is normally just to get what the vibe is, and hence the name, vibe check. But besides that, thank you for staying this far for episode 2.
Yeah, you're a real one.
Yeah, if you stayed this far, you might as well just hit the subscribe button, hit the like, or just subscribe mostly.
Tell your neighbors, tell your friends.
Actually, just hit. You know,
just commit.
There we go. Commit. Just start. But once again, thank you guys for staying. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. And we see you guys the next time.
Hopefully it's not cold.
It's never cold. See you guys. All right, done. We are done.